Hi, welcome to another Power Blast podcast. Help! I worked out and I'm so sore. What do I do now? Stay tuned. Hey everyone, Perry Tinsley here, creator of the Power Blast podcast and owner of PutYourselfFirst.com. And I'm a health and fitness coach that's helped thousands of people get results to get started on their workout program, just on their journey of health and fitness. So glad to have you on here today. We are going to talk about what to do with that muscle soreness, especially if you just started a workout program or you're just getting back into the routine after years of being off. That soreness, you're going to embrace it. It happens to all of us. We're going to talk about that. But one thing I wanted to share with you is a few people started getting back to me about how they find my podcast. And some people find it on iTunes. They just go into iTunes and subscribe that way. Some people go into, have gone onto YouTube. But there is a podcast app. You may or may not know this on your phone, Android, or I think even iPad, Android, or the iOS, iPhone sort of thing. So you can see it right here. And all you do is go in and do a search for Power Blast Podcast. There's two different versions. You can get the audio version or the video version. And just check it out that way. Another way to be convenient and be able to connect with the show and get the message each week. So glad to have you on here. So let's talk about this muscle soreness thing. And you're seeing a little cameo. If you're on the video, you're seeing a little cameo from Crookshanks here. She's decided that she wanted to be on the podcast today. So yesterday, let's say yesterday or maybe a couple days ago, you worked out. Maybe it was your first workout and the first time in your life or the first time in a long time. And so you just crushed that workout. Maybe it wasn't as strong as you thought you would be, but you just pushed through and you're like, ain't nothing but a thing. Got this. Totally crushed it. And then a day or two later, you're like, I can't walk, or I can't move my arms. I feel like they're T-Rex arms, or I can't move. Or you look at the stairway and you're like, there's no way I'm climbing stairs. Or you drop something on the floor and you're like, it can stay there the rest of the week. I am not bending down to pick that up. You, my friend, are in DOM world. DOMS, DOMS. These are called, it stands for delayed onset muscle soreness, and it's totally natural, and you're going to be fine, but they are kind of a pain. They can be a real intense pain, as a matter of fact. DOMS are like teeny tiny tears in the muscles that come from strenuous exercise or activity that your body's just not used to. And it can even come if you're like gardening or pulling weeds or just doing something else that, maybe you did a little pickup game of basketball and you hadn't done that in a while. Now your body's going to scream at you, and that little payment is just your body saying, you know what? I'm going to do a little trade-off here. If we're going to do this little change and you're wanting to make these muscles a little more toned and to maybe look good, there's going to be a little payback because I need to recover. And while they recover, you're going to feel sore. And so that's you just got to pay a bit on it. But I'm going to give you some tips today that can help you out just to get through that part so you can continue with your journey and not totally give up your workout program because you're starting your workout program to get results, right? So just know DOMS is totally a given, and you're going to be sore. You're going to, I would say, embrace the soreness. A lot of people say no pain, no gain, but it's no fun too. I know some people get into it, but it happens to all of us. And it's really easy to push hard when you're in the zone and you're not feeling sore at all. And, what do you do about it? So what you do is, you did your workout, you're sore, maybe it's the next day. The next day, you're just going to work out a different muscle group. Or you, if you did a strength workout one day, maybe the next day you're going to do just a light cardio type of activity that's just different. Maybe it's low intensity or low impact. And so you're giving that muscle group a chance to recover, but you're still increasing blood flow throughout the body to help those muscles recover even faster. And so if it's 2 days after, and a lot of times 2 days after can be even more intense on the muscle soreness. I know for me, if I've done a leg workout it's not the next day, it's the day after that's pretty intense. But you don't blow off your workout then. You just do a really good warm-up, no matter how sore you are, and then go and do that workout and just increase that blood flow into the muscles. Even put your body through the motions. Your first few reps might be just really intense and maybe not really awesomely great, but they might be a little bit sore and a little painful at times. And I don't want to, when I say painful, I don't mean like you are actually hurting so bad, but you're just pushing through that soreness. And that's going to help you speed up the recovery. Now, if you're in doubt and you're like, oh my gosh, I really can't move or anything like that, do some light stretching that next day, or even better yet, get a foam roller and you can just foam roll throughout the day, and that can actually speed up the process. I know a lot of athletes that do foam rolling before and after their workouts. It's even built into a few of our workout programs with Beachbody stuff. So just get to moving more. Don't just sit there and be lazy, okay? And just because, you're so sore and tight, your range of motion is probably going to be a little bit smaller, but that's okay. That's all right. Just really ease into it and I don't want to say push through to where you're going to injure yourself, but push through because you're wanting to recover, okay? Active recovery. Now, when it comes to injury, beware of injury. Some people think that they've got to always push their workout so hard that they're always sore, and that can really risk injury. What happened to me recently, and I didn't think I was doing this, I was going through a workout. I felt the soreness and the tightness and the stiffness from a workout I had done 2 days earlier. And so I was just kind of going through the motions, and I wasn't pushing 100%. My calves were really tight, but usually through a warm-up and through the activity and through that muscle flow, things release and things are just fine. But I felt a pop in one of my calves, and I immediately stopped. And I thought I was going to feel searing pain and feel awful, but I was okay. I just felt really sore and really tight, and I developed a really bad limp throughout the day. But there were, I threw a question out to people. What do you do for that? And many people gave, use Epsom salts, eat a banana, you get magnesium, a magnesium gel or magnesium supplements to help offset that, foam roll, stretch. And so I did a lot of those, and sure enough, the one thing that really kicked in and helped me feel a lot better was getting a banana. I was surprised that helped that a lot. So I obviously needed the magnesium and potassium in my body. So, but when it comes to muscle soreness, don't end up quitting just a bunch of days just because you're sore. If you're injured or whatever, like right now, I am finding alternative moves to do. That day that I was sore after the calf, I can't do the cardio stuff anymore. So I'm working the upper body, and I'm also working the core. And then I'm just doing some stretching and yoga, so I'm not pushing and risking further injury. And just don't feel the need to push past your limits each time and risk injury. That's silly. I know a lot of people do that. They'll go all or nothing. They'll be so sore that they take themselves out of the game, and then it goes to be nothing instead of continuing forward. If you're new to a workout program, you can possibly consider doing what I did. When I got P90X, I was brand new to that, and I was like, man, these moves are really going to make me sore the next few days. So I took it easy. I went about 50% the weight, and I went about 50% of the reps, and I just made sure I did really good form. But I followed the entire routine. Yes, I was still sore. It wasn't as crazy soreness. And then the very next week, I went full on, and I felt a lot more confident in the way I was doing it. So that may be something to consider. And the other thing is to follow a system. Like the workouts that I coach people through, we have a calendar that gives those workouts on the day. So if you're working a certain workout, a certain muscle group, the next day you're probably doing either a cardio routine or you're working a different muscle group to give those muscles a time to recover. So follow a system. I used to guess my way around the gym, be frustrated with the results, and I really didn't make effective use of that good muscle soreness when I did the little tearing of the muscle fibers so they could rebuild and regrow and make me stronger and make the muscles more toned and sculpted. So anyway, and another thing, when it comes to soreness, don't let soreness become laziness. Oh, I'm gonna take off the next 5 weeks, and I'll get back to it when I'm not being sore again. That's not gonna get your results. That's why you're here and why you're wanting to do that, right? So that's all I have for this podcast and this show. And I so appreciate you for subscribing and for connecting and sharing this with anybody that you feel can benefit. That is so awesome. And you know what? If there's something that you found really helps you out with that muscle soreness, has helped you get through it, please email me or comment below so we can help the community. And that would just be adding such great value. And you know what? If you would get over to the iTunes store or even use your app and go in and give an honest rating and review for the Power Blast podcast, you would absolutely rock, my friend. That's all I have for this week. Remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week.